Hey YouTube,
What's up?
So it has been quite a while since we've done one of these. We asked for some Q&A questions probably like a month ago, and we finally found some time to shoot a Q&A, so we're gonna do an Ask Two Beeps. Paul asked, cats or dogs? Have you ever thought of adopting any?
It would be cat, right?
Yes, I think we both agree that if we were to adopt a pet, it would be a cat. I grew up with cats my whole life, you also did too. Although I guess you also had dogs, right?
The reason we wouldn't want a dog is because they require so much more care, and we're not always around so much, so I would feel bad just having a dog alone all the time.
Whereas a cat's kind of just like, F you, I'll hang out all alone.
Katie asked if you could see any Broadway show for free, what would it be?
Well, if it was for free, I would see Hamilton because those tickets are like $500 a piece.
Expensive.
But actually, Hamilton isn't on the top of my list. Like, if cost wasn't an issue and like every Broadway show costs the same,
Can we see ones that aren't showing any longer?
Oh, that's a good call. Because if that were the case, I would see Angels in America. I'm so sad that we missed
I was
that.
here for like a second, and it was so expensive, and you need like 2 nights, and we just couldn't make it work. I would resurrect that one.
That's a good answer. Let's stick with that one.
Okay.
It might come back again, who knows?
Yeah.
Rob asked, what's your opinion on Canadians and maple syrup?
Well, Canadians I like. I think that they really fulfill their stereotype of being friendly, and like...
Do you know any Canadians?
Rob is Canadian.
Oh, you know Rob?
He's my Canadian friend, yeah.
Oh, that's Rob.
That's Rob.
Oh, okay. Hi, Rob.
As far as maple syrup goes, actually, I am obsessed with maple syrup. I think that's because in the Northeast, we probably have the same affinity for maple syrup that Canadians do. And whenever we go anywhere for pancakes or French toast or waffles or anything that needs maple syrup, I always ask if it's real. And if it's not, I do not get it.
I think you like maple syrup almost as much as you like ketchup.
Oof. I like both a lot. Liz asked, can you report on some of the greatest meals you had in Italy?
Is that Liz, my old boss Liz?
That is your old boss, Liz.
Liz employed me in my first post-grad job. I worked in a toy shop, and it was one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. The best food we had in Italy was far and away anything that your grandmother made for us, because it was always homemade. She made us gnocchi, pizzoccheri.
Yeah.
Did she make another dish?
Pizzas.
Oh, and pizzas. Yeah. So we kind of ran the gamut with homemade Italian food, and all of it was like so delicious. So that is 100% my choice. Charles asked, what do you guys do for entertainment? Well, one thing we've been doing recently is we've been going through movie series. Started with Harry Potter, so we watched all 8 of those movies, and it took us like
6 months?
Yeah, it took us a long time to get through all 8. Because it's kind of hard to find a time where we both have just like a night where we can sit and watch like a 2-hour movie. But we got through Harry Potter. Now we're on Lord of the Rings.
We saw the first 2.
Except the second movie, I think we tried 4 times before we got through the whole thing.
We did it in 4 seconds.
Because I kept falling asleep.
Oh, God.
But then we're gonna watch Hunger Games, right?
Yeah, Hunger Games.
What else do we have on the docket?
Are we gonna do Divergent?
Oh, we talked about Divergent and Maze Runner.
Maze Runner.
I don't know, those are all pretty bad.
Yeah.
But Hunger Games we're definitely gonna watch next.
Okay, yeah, that's next. Lane asked, if you had to give up one of your social media accounts, YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram, what would you give up and why? I would give up all 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Honestly, we don't post like that much stuff anymore, so it's not that limiting to give up any of them.
I think YouTube I would be the saddest to give up just because we've really built a community there.
I think Twitter we could give up.
Yeah, Twitter would be, I've never used, I don't even have it installed on my phone.
I tweet like once a week.
Yeah.
Ish.
So a bunch of you asked about Pride Month. We're filming this video a few days after Pride Month ended. So we're a little bit behind, but we can tell you what we did for Pride.
Pride, it's a moment I think where we get to really be ourselves and be publicly, unapologetically queer, which is really refreshing and really fun. So we kind of just take that opportunity to just get out there a little bit, and it's good because it's like nice weather, so we end up going to like more gay bars, we end up going to more events where we can meet other queer people. I went to YouTube Space for like the YouTube Queer Happy Hour.
And the day of the New York City Pride Parade, which was Pride 50, because it was the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots, we went to a friend's rooftop, which was actually very nice because there were so many people in the city for this event that waiting through the crowds was just kind of ridiculous. So we got to watch the parade from above, and that was spectacular.
It was so nice. We'll show you some photos of that too. Alter Under asked, what are your bucket list destinations in the good old US of A?
Oh, it's funny that you asked that.
Because we've done a lot of international travel,
but we haven't done a whole lot in the US.
We're hoping actually for our honeymoon to explore some destinations.
We've never explored the south of the US, and we're hoping that during our honeymoon we can use that as an excuse for us to do a road trip.
This is all a work in progress. We haven't booked anything yet. I'd also like to experience the Midwest at some point, to answer the question, but that's not for this trip.
Do you hear the ice cream truck?
I hear the ice cream. Yeah,
A few of you also asked how the wedding planning is going, and I would say actually really well.
I think it's, yeah, coming together. We did like meet up with our event coordinator and just went over a ton of questions that we did have. That was really good. We felt like we got a lot of stuff done. We got to try all of the menu items and the alcohol options, and they just emailed us back with like a seating chart, so I think we get to start playing around with that too.
So everyone better RSVP before we put that together.
Come on.
There's still a few people we haven't heard from. Send us your RSVP.
Send us.
We also did our engagement photo shoot, which we shot around Bushwick, and that ended up coming out really nice. We've seen some of the photos, not all of them, but we'll share those with you eventually on our Instagram. So I guess we can't give up Instagram quite yet because we gotta publish those photos. We still have a few other vendors to hire and we still have a lot of planning to do, but overall, still not too stressed, still going strong.
Yeah. Lewis asked, with all that's happening with YouTube lately, would you still suggest someone start a channel? What if they're in their 40s? Is that too old to start? I think as with any platform, YouTube is changing and it always will continue to change. If it's still something you're interested in doing, then yeah, start a channel. I don't think it matters how old you are or what your interests are, because there's gonna be an audience for whatever you create. And some of the most interesting creators are gonna be people who aren't necessarily super young and attractive, but maybe have some more expertise and knowledge about a subject.
I am a bit more conflicted, and I would probably not necessarily advise an LGBTQ plus person to make a YouTube channel without some reservations. There's a lot of harassment that takes place on YouTube, particularly against people in the queer community, and the people who make decisions at YouTube aren't doing enough to combat it. So I think that until they make that a priority, I wouldn't necessarily recommend making a YouTube channel. I think that we need to find a space where it is inclusive and supportive, and where trolls can't get in there and make targeted attacks against creators, because that's harmful both to the individual but also to the larger community, because it makes it seem like it's okay to make those statements on a public platform. Maybe think twice before starting a channel, and then if you do, make sure that you are aware that there still are a lot of really hateful and harmful people out there, and don't take what people say to heart. Overall, I think that we need to have a bigger conversation, and I think that this is important to keep talking about. Adam asked, where do you see your relationship in 20 revolutions of the sun? That means 20 years.
Yes.
Okay, just make sure.
I don't know. I think probably not in New York. A bigger house, maybe kids.
You think we need a house?
Maybe not.
But probably some property.
Property that has been purchased.
Right, having some ownership of the place where we live.
Maybe a canine at that point.
A canine, depending on how much space we have. I agree, I don't think that we'll probably be in New York in 20 years. I think in 20 years, hopefully we'll have kids. I think I want to have kids by then.
Yeah, we'll be 50, so.
Yeah, that's a good age to have some kids.
To start having kids?
No, to already have some kids.
Oh, to already, yeah.
Yeah.
Have a couple.
Have a couple kids.
Just going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a jacuzzi too.
I've always wanted a jacuzzi. You know, when little kids like create like their mansion of like, their dreams or whatever, like the first thing I would put in was a swimming pool and a jacuzzi.
Oh my god.
You know how much I like pools.
Yes. Trust me, I do. Well, we've reached the end of our questions. That means goodbye. Bye.
What if we just ended like that? So thank you for all of your questions. Thank you to our friends who we haven't talked to in a while, but hello.
Yeah.
And keep an eye out for more wedding content. We're probably gonna put some more stuff together as we get closer to the big day. Follow us on social media.
After we said that we don't do social media.
Right, but Instagram, I think you should follow us.
You could.
We'll probably have some good photos coming up.
Maybe.
But if you don't, that's okay.
That's also fine. No problem.
Thanks again for watching. I'm Beep.
I'm Beep.
We're two Beeps.
Peacing out.
Beeps out.
Beeps out.
Where's the freaking... Nice armpit.
Oh, it's the others. No,
No, it's...